Today during our warm-up, we're going to, again, practice writing expressions using let statements and then substituting in for those variables that we've written in our expressions. So first we're given a scenario and we're told that we need to write 3 expressions using those let statements. Let statements describe our expressions, and this is what we're representing. Now whenever we're representing something using an expression, we need to figure out what's the thing we don't know first. So we read the scenario. Allison rode her bike 2 miles less than Justin. Okay. And then it tells us that Jackie rode her bike twice as far as Allison. So it appears as though Jackie depends on Allison. So we need to know Allison first. But then Allison depends on Justin. So therefore the thing or the person that we don't know about first would be Justin. So our first let statement is going to say let, and we choose a variable. It can be anything. I'm going to choose D for this one. Let me fix that so it looks better. Sometimes writing with a stylus doesn't work out so well. So let D equal the distance that Justin rode his bike. Now, again, I'm going to remind you that these let statements need to be very, very specific all the time. It's the only way that we can be clear that when we look back at it or somebody else tries to figure out our work, that they'll be able to understand it, and we'll be able to understand it when we look back at it. So we started with the distance that Justin rode his bike. The next thing we have is that Allison rode her bike 2 miles less. 2 miles less, well, that tells us that we're going to be subtracting. So we need to take 2 away from how far Justin went. So that would be D minus 2 equal the distance that Allison rode her bike. So we've now taken care of Justin and Allison. Last person we're left with is Jackie. Jackie rode her bike twice. That tells us we're doubling, which means we'll multiply times 2. Jackie rode her bike 2 times as far as Allison. So we need to take what Allison did. Allison rode her bike D minus 2 and double that. So that means it's very important that we indicate that the D minus 2 happens before it gets multiplied by 2. And the way that we do that is that we put it inside parentheses. So we have let 2 times the quantity of D minus 2 equal the distance Jackie rode her bike. Okay, and you'll notice that I ran out of room in the first line here, and I went right below it. You don't want to write it over here underneath the expressions. It just gets confusing to look at. So make sure that you keep it over there where your words are describing. It just looks a lot neater, less confusing when we look back at it. So just a little quick reminder there. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be doing is we're given some information here. We're told that Justin rode his bike 2.5 miles, and therefore how far did each person ride? So we've got 3 people here. We've got Justin. We're going to start with him because that, of course, was the first let statement we wrote, or the first expression we wrote using a let statement. And then after that we have Allison. And the next person is Jackie. So we know that Justin, we wrote his expression first, and that was D. And we're now told that how far Justin rode was 2.5 miles. So we're going to separate that with a semicolon. Make sure your semicolon does not look like a J. Remember that the semicolon is there to separate each part. So we've got D, and then D equals 2.5. We substitute in, this is a very simple substitution here, 2.5 miles. Next we have Allison. The expression we used to figure out how far Allison rode her bike was d minus 2. Semicolon to separate the parts. We know that d equals 2.5. I substitute in, I've got 2.5 minus 2. That's 2.5 miles minus 2 miles. So I'm left with just that half a mile, 0.5. Whoops. 0.5 miles. And then the last person we have here is Jackie. The expression that we wrote for the distance Jackie rode her bike was 2 times the quantity. That means put it in parentheses because it comes first, of d minus 2. That's the expression. We're going to separate that from the value that's been assigned to d, which is 2.5. And now we substitute in 2 times the quantity of 2.5 minus 2. We now follow our order of operations. We know that we do inside the parentheses first. 2 times, well, 2.5 minus 2 is 0.5, or a half a mile. 2 times the half mile. We should know that if we double a half mile, we end up with 1 mile. And here we are. We know that Justin rode 2.5 miles, Allison 0.5 miles, and Jackie 1 mile.